Hey, what's up, stream keepers, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's topic, I actually want to talk to you guys about some of these tips that I want to share with you on actually grading the streams. That's number one. Number two, I will also use this opportunity to blend these two topics together. Like for example, what I'm trying to do is actually trying to share the grading methodology of probably Bois, and then from there I also will share in terms of what are some of the things that can accentuate the or enhance the colors of the streams. And of course some of the things that that we always see in social media. In today's world, there's a lot of filters, there's a lot of things involved. You can actually beautify a lot of people, from people that is from big size to slim to things like that. There's a lot of Photoshop involved. There's a lot of lens, apps that actually create that force effect, that force effect. And of course, there's also other setups that can actually accentuate or enhance the coloration of the streams as well. So in today's topic, I will discuss and go into depth with a lot of examples that I will share with you guys. And of course, then you will realize that actually in terms of the message, that the communication or the message that I actually want to share is that when you want to view a stream, having to see it live or face to face with the stream makes a huge difference when you see them on pictures or on videos as well. It can be better or it can be worse because there are some colors that even today, even digital SLR, even videos cannot really capture the true colors of the stream. And whenever, like for example, you see a stream and then you realize that actually it's not so nice, but when you see it on the picture it's very nice, or vice versa. It can happen as well. However, there is only a couple of streams that escapes the the camera, or the camera phone or the videos. There are a few streams that I will also share on which are the ones that will escape this. So before we go deep into this topic, I actually wanted to give a shout out to some of the breeders. One of them is actually JQ, which we had a video session together, and he also agrees that seeing the stream firsthand makes a huge difference. And one of the reasons is because when you actually see, because everybody's perception of colors is slightly different. Like for example, my red may not be your red, right? It could be, oh, this could be slightly maroon in color and things like that. So the perception of red is slightly different. And when I was having that discussion with him offline, we kind of agree that when we look at streams, we have to. It will be best if we can actually see them firsthand. That will be absolutely best. If we are unable to see them absolutely best live, then of course we need to have that knowledge. We need to equip ourselves with the knowledge so that we will be able to actually discern between what is the right colors, or what we are actually seeing is actually true. So with that, I want to share with you guys in terms of Bois grading, and this is being shared amongst the Taiwanese hobby as well. I just wanted to share this upfront with some of the pictures, and from there also to look at how the photo enhancement actually create a force effect of the stream as well. So number one, for Bois is general. If you want to have a high grade Bois or competition grade Bois, you need to have big patches on the face, right? Big patches on the face. You have that cape down, but however the cape, it cannot cover all the way down to the body. So the ratio has to be 50-50. And one of the things that we want to actually take a look over here is that cape has to be done from the body down to the tail with a descent. It has to be a distinctive split between the top cape and the bottom body. And at the body area, it has to be in black in color, or usually it's black in color. And then you have that spots on them, spots, or there are some with lines, but having spots will be in a way higher grade. And why do I say that? And and this has been it can be controversial, right? However, this is what I've been taught, I've learned. Instead of lines, because you see, boas comes from a mutation, not a cross, a mutation of stardust in the past, right? So Skyfish actually created that. It went through a different selection process, and out of those, one of them mutated that looks like boa. Okay, and that, you know, that line between the top and the bottom to discern should clearly cut across the tail, where you have that, you know, that differentiation between the top and the bottom. And then the bottom part, you have many spots, because this is the characteristics of a stardust, and the top part is the characteristics of a boa. For a stardust, it is like a fish bone and very multiple spots. So as you can, I will show some pictures over here to differentiate between a stardust and a boa in that manner. Of course, we cannot be seeing the genes as well. So we need to be very sure of the source of where the streams are from to be able to understand what is what. You know, you are paying for what it is, right? So that's, I think, the coming back to that is, you know, having that big patch, having that 50-50 differentiation, having that body spots, legs are colored, full size, and everything. So this is one of the top grade streams as well. So in terms of colors, you know, so I'm gonna switch over to that enhancement of coloration. So there are a few things that can actually enhance the coloration of the boa. For example, the metallic blue. Number one is that people uses RGB lights, you know, to enhance the coloration. So when you see when they use an RGB light, you can actually that means there are red, blue, green, and white kind of lights on there, and then after that, you know, the coloration of the boa that's being reflected, because streams color pigmentation is actually below the scales, and there's, you know, at a certain angle, the reflection actually creates that false sense of coloration that you actually see when you see them with white light versus enhancement of using an RGB. So this RGB thing is very common in terms of planter tank, where you want to enhance the red plants and things like that. So when you use an RGB light to actually show your stream, then when a person purchases the stream and go back and put it under his white light, he will be very disappointed, because he will not get that effect. He will not get what he sees on the video. So that is one of the reasons why when we purchase streams, it is best that you actually go down and then actually take a look at it. Or you can be very trustworthy. I mean, you really trust the source, so you have a long relationship that you can actually purchase them using video. Because at the end of the day, whatever that comes in your tank, you still need to acclimatize them. You still need to take time for the streams to actually come back to that original color, or even make the colors better with your water parameters. So using RGB is one of them. Second one is that, you know, you use Photoshop. Quite a lot of people uses Photoshop to, you know, it is fine to use Photoshop to, you know, you resize your image. You need to make sure that your color, your white balance is correct. So a lot of our lights today, for example, Chihiro, some are 8,000 Kelvin, some have 10,000 Kelvins, which means that it has a bluish tinge in that color spectrum. So what we need to kind of like dial that backwards towards the more neutral area. And how do we actually see that? Can be easily understood by using ADA soy as the guidance. So ADA soy, you know, under normal 6,500 Kelvins light, you can actually see that the granules are slightly, it is black in color when it's in water. When it's out of water, it's actually a little bit of a brownish, because it contains a lot of peat and things like that. So we need to tell the difference between what is the accurate color of the streams, because there are some videos that you can actually see online that it doesn't really tell you the true picture or the true story of or the true coloration of the stream. It is quite apparent, because, for example, you can actually have a lot of filters to enhance your coloration of the streams, but actually at the end of the day, the stream colors may not be what it is, and this can be actually decoded quite easily. You know, for example, can you make a a normal stream, a red stream, into something else. You know, you recreate that kind of image, and you can use darken tool, you can do contrasting. So this kind of creative Photoshop is very very apparent in other fields. Like for example, you do a lot of digital photography that you do enhancement through Photoshop, or you do a lot of design works that actually have a lot of this enhancement to create these different kind of effects on coloration, on design, and things like that. So from that perspective, you can actually recreate a stream quite easily that nobody can actually tell in that sense. Like for example, especially there are two colors that is very difficult to be captured on screen. Number one is purple, the other one is actually orange, or slightly rose in color. So that two coloration is not very easy to be captured even with digital SLR. Like I understand that there are some purple streams that although purple has not been stabilized for a long time, it may not get stabilized. We are not sure. It may look purple this generation, but it does not guarantee that the next generation will have purple as well. So I think most importantly is that from a photography or from a videography standpoint, that purple coloration of the stream is fairly difficult to capture. The other one is actually the rose gold. So rose gold is very difficult to capture because that that color spectrum doesn't seems to be able to get the right one. Unless the coloration of the stream is really outstanding and has very high intensity in terms of the pigmentation, color pigmentation that the phone or the camera can actually capture. So for example, rose gold, I have seen some that can be recreated from red, because red and rose gold, they are quite similar in terms of the coloration. Of course, there's a in terms of difference in the stream. It is a totally different stream. However, it can be made to look alike. So as you can see, from a lot of these various examples that I've shared, it is important to know that first you have to learn how to do your own grading, your coloration, your size, or everything. Once you know that level of grading methodology, then you look at the next step, which is videography and photography, editing on the picture or the video itself. So has there been a lot of external enhancement in terms of the picture? So that is very important, because like what I've mentioned, you can use like Photoshop or any of these photo apps to actually resize and then put it up online to actually share your pictures. I think majority of people will do that, or some even just take a picture and upload it. So number one. Number two is that like for example, digital SLR. And a lot of this, some of these smartphones these days, they actually auto enhance your pictures in terms of your clarity, your sharpness, and things like that. However, there are still very backdated ones that do not have this algorithm, meaning that taking the pictures out of the phone, or taking the pictures out of the digital SLR, they appear soft. So what you do is that you enhance the sharpness on that to create that the actual look of the stream. Then of course you need to adjust the white balance to make it 6005 kelvins. So a stream will look under white light what kind of colors it will be. Of course, there will be time that you can actually see that, wow, you can actually enhance the stream to make it even more pop, even more wow. However, I think if the intent is to sell the stream, I think that will you will really disappoint the person who's going to purchase the stream, because at the end of the day, the person who's going to buy the stream is going to look at the stream and he's going to think back what is going on with the stream, and this is not going to go very well in terms of the transaction or the future relationship with the person. So I think this episode is really to talk about this kind of things, and to give you guys some ideas and information that what will happen if, let's say, you're going to purchase a stream online. What are some of the things that you need to take a look at? The best way is actually, in my opinion, is to really see the streams up front, if you can afford to do that. Of course, if the person is very far away and you really do not have time to travel down, or you really cannot make time to go down to take a look at it, then of course, have even video calls, even sending videos. These are not going to give you 100% true picture of the stream itself. So as long as the pictures and the videos are more or less in their natural state, then of course what you may get is similar to what you see on the picture. Of course, if it gets nicer when you breed them, or there are a lot of examples where the streams, they don't look as nice now, but over times, with your good water quality, good water parameters, they actually enhances the stream, coloration, the patterns itself. So these are some of the advice I want to give you guys in terms of this episode. I hope you guys have really benefited out of this, and for that, give a thumbs up to this video, and until next time, peace out.